Imagine spending 20 to 30 lakh rupees of your family's hard-earned money or taking a big education loan to study in the United States, only to be told one day that your visa is cancelled and you have just 15 days to leave the country, even if you have done nothing wrong. Well, that is exactly what's happening to a growing number of Indian students in the US. So, let's break down what exactly is happening in simple terms. Indian students in the US, most of whom are studying on F1 visas, are being told to self-deport back to India. This is happening even in cases where court has found them not guilty of any wrongdoing. One shocking example involves a student whose identity was stolen by a so-called friend. The student immediately informed the authorities, gave them proof, including one video evidence, and that student was proven innocent in the court. Still, the US immigration system cancelled his visa and terminated his student and exchange visitors information system record. Now he has to either leave the country or take legal action to fight the cancellation. Sadly, this is not an isolated case. A Texas-based immigration lawyer says that he is currently working on over 30 similar cases, mostly involving Indian students. Reason? Minor issues, some as small as traffic violation. Many of these students aren't criminals. They are just ordinary youngsters who made small mistakes or were simply in wrong place at a wrong time. Let me give you an example of that. A student who was asked to leave the US after a minor accident while driving with a learner's permit, even though he paid the fine and followed all the rules. Another student's violence case was dropped in the court, but unfortunately the visa was still cancelled. Third case, some were even caught driving without a valid local license or using an international driver license which was not kind of accepted in that particular state. One was accused of shoplifting, another of reckless driving, but both were found not guilty. Even a 10-year-old issue at the US port of entry was used against a student who had since got a valid visa and he has no criminal record. Even students proven guilty in the court have had their legal status revoked, with the only explanation being that they were once flagged. It's a clear message. One mistake and your future in the US is at stake. You know, the root cause of this particular problem appears to lie in the US government's increasing strict immigration policy, specifically after US President Donald Trump rushed for tougher rules under the Make America Great Again agenda. These policies continue to affect students every single day, as immigration authorities are now using AI technology to monitor these students for any sign of illegal activity or even political involvement. The Department of Homeland Security keeps track of all the international students through the database. Once this record is terminated, the students become out of status immediately and they must leave the US within 15 days or face deportation and long-term bans. Even peaceful protest participation, specifically on sensitive issues like Israel-Palestine conflict, has led to visa cancellation. Though in the case of Indian students, most issues have nothing to do with politics, just minor legal or administrative violation. India is the second largest source of international students in the US, after China. In 2023, over 268,000 Indian students were studying in the US, a number that has doubled in the past 5 years. These students contribute billions to the American economy and build India's global reputation in education and technology. But now, many of these bright students are being forced to return home, not because they failed academically or broke any serious law, but due to unclear immigration policy and flaw in monitoring system. You know, these visa issues don't just hurt the students. They are a loss for India too. Families are left heartbroken, loans are left unpaid, careers are shut down. All this when the court says not guilty. This is a wake-up call for Indian students and family who dream of the US as a land of opportunity. Yes, it still offers world-class education and career chances, but it's also becoming a riskier place for international students, specifically from countries like India.